previše loptu, a Stani Vuković. Pa za razliku od nekih prethodnih situacija, kada je Stani Vuković ubacio loptu, nije toliko žurio. Naravno, moraju da se i pomere fudbaleri Radničkog ka polovini Crvene zvezde, tek je sada ispucao loptu. Će biti za fudbalere Crvene zvezde. Za Ivanića. Zastao je Ivanić. Požalio se na povredu Milosavljević. Šuri kapiten Crvene zvezde. Matić. Slavi centar šut. Matić. Vasić je hvaćao. Načuo je loptu napadač Radničkog. Milosavljević nadeći samo potkloniti opasnost. Evo ga Spasić. Spasić. Spašava Leković. I imaće Radnički prvi korner u drugom polovremenu. Vanjević, pored lopte, lako se preda Zanova, spasuje Baćo, Radonjić, onda Milosavljević, ne žele previše staviti svoju domaći Stani Vuković. Treća lopta kod Rodriga, Baćo. Krenuo je krata i novu loptu, verovatno da je bio u nedozvoljene poziciji. I sada se na povredu žali Milosavljević. Nisu laki uslovi za igru. Naravno da Milosavljević na zemlji, još jedan iskusan superligaški igrač, pre svega karijera koja je čenula u bučanima nekakvima preko 200 nastupa za mladost. Nekada se stupala Vojvodina, koga vidite nastupao i za Kashimatas u Japanu. Zbog ovoga sigurno je koji minut više u nadoknadi vremena. Milosavljević je uskoro ponovo na terenu. Posle ukazane pomoći, ovo je bila prilika i pre svega domaćin da predate, da malo upate vazduh. Lopta je u ruku, pogodila Steon. Uz žuti karton za fudbalera Crvene zvezde. Vidjet ćemo još jednom. Nije lopta pogodila u ruku, već je Steon igrao rukom. To je ipak bitna razlika. Novi izmene. Vidimo Jovana Mišića, nekadašnjeg kapitena Voždovca. On će ući u igru, izlazi Spasić, izlazi i Vanja Ilić, Mišić i Srećković u igri. Vukoviću, Stani Vuković. Rodigao. Pa onda Jankan. Pačo. Lopta kod Rodiga. Matić, Rodigao. Leković. Napad koji nije doneo rezultat gostima. Ulazimo vrlo brzo u 90. minut na Čajru. Za Radnički bi izuzetno bilo bitno da ostane neporažen i bod u borbi pre svega za svetlo iz donjeg dela tabele, ali i bod koji će mnogo značiti na spođu samopouzdanja. Traži se da taj gol u finišu utakmice da ostane na 100% i na neki način da zaboravi Bragu. Milosavljević je napravio prekršaj. Među vremenu Kata i Nišić. Pokušao je Radović, Zvezda dolazi do lopte, 7 minuta će se još igrati. Lopta je kod Stane Vuković. Rodigao. Uporan je bio Lečković. Stel Pakrunić. Stigao je Kandel. Matić. Može li nešto više Krunić? Oštra lopta, Pačo je bio tamo. Ostaje Pizzolo na Čajru. Sačekate Stani Vuković da kako se to kaže, izađu njegovi igrači do centra s donjim delom kopačke pokušaje Pačo. Pokušava domaćin u nadoknadi vremena. Stel. Matić, Ivanić. Dobit će prekršaj kapiten Crvene zvezde, faul Jovana Nišića. Prekršaj koji je već izveden. Ivanić. Kata i da li je bio offside, Antić je centrirao, Mužva. Stel. I dalje prenapad Crvene zvezde, na kraju bez problema za Stani Vukovića. I odmah se na ovaj način traži pre svega Bosić. Krenuo je napred Lekovića, prekršaj Milosavljevića i Žuti karton za zadnjeg Vesnog Radničkog. Ne može Ivanić do ove lopte. I još jednom Stani Vuković. Nema razloga da žuri. Može li Radnički posle boda koji je osvojio protiv Partizana na Žajru da ostane neporaženi protiv Crvene Zvezde? Rekli smo da ova ekipa dobro igra kod kuće, da je najveći problem za tim Tomislava Simića činjenica da baš ne osvajaju bodove na strani. Abit pa Rodrigao. Kreće napred i štoper Crvene Zvezde. Lepo Ivanić. Ide lopta Abdića. Evo možda šanse. Naše penala fudbaleri Crvene Zvezde. Stel pokušava. Lopte i dalje u terenu. Bori se Ivanić na kraju gola auta. Sačekamo malo i da vidimo iz nekog drugog ugla šta se desilo u 95. minutu. Mejlović deluje da je video situaciju Miloš Milanović u toj gužvi i da je objasnio igračima Crvene Zvezde šta se dogodilo. Lopta koja je jakama pogodila. Igra se dalje. Grunić. Može li sada domaćin nešto više? Evo opasnog napada, Bocić u šansi. I dalje je opasno, Nišić. Korner. A kako je zapretio Radnički u 96. minutu. Bocić pa Nišić. Ostaje bez promene rezultata, ali imaće korner. Domaćin. Sada malo glasnija podrška i za Nišlije, a ako se ne varam drugi korner u nastavku za domaće. Crveniše Steon. I još jednom Korejac, lopta napred, Kostov pokušava, međutim i dobra reakcija fudbalera Radničkog. 97. minut, Turi Rodrigao dolazi po loptu Kata i za trenutak Ilić. Podignuta zastavica, lopta van terena i pripada fudbalerima Radničkog, tačnije Jovanu Stani Vukoviću. Stani Vuković, još jedna lopta napred, pre svega ka Belakoviću. Lenković, Rodrigao, 98. minut, Abdić, zaustavljen Ivanić. Lopta će biti za fudbalere Crvene Zvezde, pušta još da se igra Milanović i gleda na sat. završio je Jankam. Svira kraja Miloš Milanović, veliki bod na Radnički protiv Crvene zvezde, ostali su neporaženi protiv prve dve ekipe na tabeli. Crvena zvezda je u Nišu pokvarila svoj perspektan skor i sada posle 15 odigranih utakmica ima 31 boda, dok koliko i Partizan sa utakmicom više.
Da li si pratite sportnu igru i to svakog dana? Sad jedno beži 3 dana su sad tog domara uz 10.000 dinara od važnost igraš.
Vrlo brzo i izjave i statistički parametri, evo ih, konstantno je Crvena zvezda imala veći procent lopte, Jankam Slani, to moram da kažem, imao je Radnički da napadne ka golu Crvene zvezde, duplo više udaraca, 12-6 je bio taj odnos, ako možemo na teren, verujem da je Jovana spremna. Sačekat ćemo još nekih verujem 30 sekundi. Radnički je došao do 12. boda, sada su na deobi 14. i 15. mesta sa Spartakom. Od više ima Radnik. U svakom slučaju, koliko će biti interesantno u borbi za gornji deo tabele, toliko i u borbi za opstanak, kada se zna da prve 4 ekipe. Idemo na teren, Jovana, izvoli.
Ćemo prvo utike šefa štaba Crvene zvezde, gospodine Milović. Bilo je danas dosta problema, dosta prilivnih izmena. Da čujemo negde komentar ove utakmice i kako su igrači koji su zamenjeni, koji su morali da napuste teren.
Pa kao prvo što se tiče povređenih igrača, imamo problem sa Imanom Zarićem, imamo problem sa Sportskim globom i problem sa prepuštenim snidovima Veljkovićem. Ja sam kao trener najodgovorniji i mislim da bez obzira kako god nije bila dobra igra, to je već druga utakmica koju svakako treba i meni kao treneru pravi jedan problem koji svakako vidjet ćemo polako, ali u svakom slučaju ono što danas polako išlo vremeno jedno dobro bilo, to je da su stvarno navijači došli posle one utakmice ovakve kako je došla, da nas po ovom vremenu nisu stali da god zahvale, zahvaljujem se, a ostalo ćemo vidjeti u narednim danima.
Hvala. Hvala. Čuli smo Vladana Milojevića, i gospodin Stilić, tako da ostaćemo na terenu da čujemo i utiske šefa aktivnog štaba ekipe Radničkog. Gospodine Stiliću, ja ću vam čestitati na osvojenom bodu danas. Možete li nam otkriti stanje Radničkog protiv večitih rivala ove sezone?
Pa sad, bod je veliki naspet da je odličan sredu. Mislim da smo odgovorili taktički na sve njihove rotacije, da smo dobro to zatvarali. Mislim da se da nećemo izdržati do kraja, da smo ipak igrali na jednom nivou više od nas, što je sudačko iskustvo, ali smo i momci pokazali jednu sjajnu energiju. Volao bi kad bi to bilo protiv svakog protivnika, protiv Rijeka, Spartaka, a ne samo protiv Zvezde i Partizana. U svakom slučaju ja im čestitam jedan veliki jedna nagrada za njih je zaista sjajno rade i taj transfer između treninga i utakmice ponekad bude veliki, međutim danas smo pokazali da možemo i se najjačimo, naravno da smo sretni zbog ovog voda. Više u psihološkom smislu, znam što svaki god mislim da je sve ovako blizu jedno drugog, ali na psihološkom smislu mislim da će biti veliki pozitiv za dalje.
Hvala vam, puno čestitamo. Hvala. To je bilo to što se tiče utisaka nakon meča. Načelnik Milošev.
Hvala Jovana, hvala i Tomislavu Siviću i Vladanu Milojeviću. Golova nije bilo, šansi jeste i vidjet ćemo vrlo brzo o sažetku šta se dešavalo po izuzetnoj kiši. Igralo se ovoj večeri upravo sam početak prilika u kojoj se našao Vanja Ilićev, udarac iz 19. minuta, pre toga jedna situacija za Piperović. 8 minuta ranije udarac Kandela, polovinom prvog poluvremena, ostalo je 0:0. Pa onda odmah nakon toga korner, šansa u kojoj se našao Mirko Ivanić, jeste lopta prošla kroz noge Miljanu Iliću, ali je Stani Vuković zaustavio taj udarac, uzvratio je Radivoj Bosić, neki 10 minuta pre poluvremena. U nastavku Radnički nešto više orijentisan na svoju odbranu, videli smo pokušaj Kataja koji je ušao u igru 42. minutu, pa onda i Kandel uzvratio je Radnički preko u ovoj situaciji Spasića, pre toga je i Radivoj Bosić imao jedan dobar pokušaj, ovo je udarac Kataja u 78. minutu, dobro je branio Stani Vuković, onda još jedan Kataj, s tim da je u ovoj situaciji bio u ofsajdu posle udarca. Napad na samom kraju meča, prvo Bosić, pa onda i Nišić. Pokušaj da Radnički nese sva 3 boda, do toga nije došlo, ali bod je veliki za Nišlije, gde smo rekli neporaženi protiv Zvezde i Partizana na Čairu, 12. bod ove sezone iz 13 mečeva. Zvezda ostaje sa, odnosno ima 31 bod i deli igrač tabele sa Partizanom. Gledamo Zvezdu u četvrtak protiv Vojvodine u Novom Sadu, Radnički u kupu igra protiv Slobode. Toliko kada se radi o ovom prenosu. Ostanite i dalje uz kanala RMS Sports, jer vam prijetan ostatak večeri. Ovaj prenos omogućio vam je Dosta. Nečetna je definitivni trenutak koji su Eftingali.
I got there, Stevie, I got these others with me. Just think this Palace 1-0 at Emirates. I mean, where do you want to go here? Where are you? Let's start here. Where are you standing right now, Arsenal fan? Are you swinging one way where it feels like there's no Christian in the week on NCC after the best team in the world right now? The first fans come in, it's one of the fun, had a bang and said, we'll win if we can, win it, we're going to smoke the rest of the team coming up. Or you feel a bit more, let's just wait, it's still early, or take it game by game. Or you feeling that buzz as Arsenal fans are feeling?
You've got to take it game by game. The next two games are very, very important. Two away games against Burnley, who won today, and then Sunday, who I believe at this moment in time in the top four. So it's not easy, you know. And at the end of it, what you've got to do is win those games and take those two games, and then look where we are from there. Because if we win those two games, the minimum now we can be 6 points in front of Man City, and the minimum we can be 7 points in front of Liverpool. So those two games are vital. Today, let's be honest, it wasn't a great game. I don't think they made it up. Right, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we won against a very, very difficult side to play. A good team. They're a good team. And listen, a team does not go 18, 19, 20 games unbeaten in the league or in the FA they come, if they're not a good side. So they're a good side. They've got some good players in that team, players in Bernardia, so you have to be a little bit cautious.
And so you feel that today, though? I think there was one time I saw Mateta break and him fight with Gabriel. I was like, oh, but then after that, do you ever feel like you always want to fix up the defence? Do you feel like, oh, we've got to nick something?
No, not today. Again, I felt very, very comfortable with our defence. Our defence is outstanding. There's other parts of the football team that are not, but that defence is outstanding. And the goalkeeper you've got in that, and the way that we play, and the way that we get back into that. Not just the defence. The defensive shape is excellent. You know, listen, don't care what anybody says today. Saka, taken off. That's his worst performance for a very, very long while.
I'm surprised they've been trying to act that quickly, though. But I thought he was going to try and play him out the whole game.
I don't think Saka is 100% fit. Perhaps because if Manuel was here, like, he wouldn't have been getting the minutes he was getting. He's had to be rushed back because of that injury. And maybe today was perhaps shown after the game on Chelsea. Right? So, but he's not at his best in this moment. Right? Trossard, I thought, Gyökeres played pretty well today. Like. But at the end of the day, there's certain players in the team that are not at their best. They're winners, they're winners, and we're still winning. So I don't see what the problem is. I don't really see what the problem is.
Okay, well, some fans, I don't know, some people may say, some people may say, like, well, I can't see what winning games right at the death, right? And then some say that's not sustainable. And we've seen now they've dropped off quite a bit. With Arsenal, we are winning games, we're not playing well, but there could be a train of thought say they can't keep us up.
Yeah, of course, there is that train of thought. If you want to be negative and have that train of thought, have it. My train of thought is that not everything goes to plan. You know, on paper you beat these teams 2-0, 3-0. We're not playing on paper. At the end of it, they're going to come there and make it as uncomfortable for you and all that. Like. And don't get me wrong. Don't think there ain't pressure on this team, even at this early stage. Obviously, we're winning or losing or whatever. The key to this is, right, that when last season, when Arsenal had injuries and weren't winning games, Manchester City weren't winning games, Liverpool were. Right? No one was turning around and saying, oh, Liverpool aren't playing that well, or they're doing this and that and that. Liverpool were winning. And that is what this stage of the season you've got to do. And that's what we've had today. Would you like us to play well today and lost?
No. I
think so. What it is. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. And obviously Liverpool lost now the same amount of games we lost last season, they lost last season. But so you were saying taking game by game, but does it feel different? Does it feel like Arsenal are, you know,
Arsenal, this moment in time. You know, people go about Arsenal bottling it and things like that. 2 or 3 seasons ago, we lost Saliba and we fell apart. Today, Saliba goes injured, and who's actually bothered about it? Like, you know, I'm actually worried what the injury is. Not that he's playing.
Yeah.
Not that he's on the team. What's the matter with him? Whatever, like, you know what I mean? When he comes on, it's like, there isn't a drop off.
Not the scare was there today.
You know what I mean? What more do you want?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Declan Rice has got injured today, like, you know. Also, Martinelli's got injured today, you know. So, he's straight down the tunnel today. So we're picking up injuries, and at the end of the day, all it is the most important thing at the end of the day, is to continue to keep winning. And then listen, when we come here on Wednesday, right, it's a different attitude. You know what I mean? There ain't that much pressure. It's a little bit like, you know, we can't.
Shouldn't there be a different attitude though?
No,
because you want to go further.
I want to win that.
Yeah.
But if you draw and win it on penalties, and at the end, that's great. If you draw today, people are going to be like losing it and all that. Like, there's a pressure on win. Now, when we go to Burnley next week, they've just got on the back of a couple of 2 big wins, by the way. Like, you know? I mean, people going, that's going to be easy. They've just beaten Leeds, and they've just gone and won away at Wolves today. We want that, did we? But they did, like, you know what I mean? Because we love Wolves.
Yeah, we do.
We've got to ensure this year is going to be the last one.
They will like late
They do. But what I'm saying is, you've got to go there, you've got to defend properly and win the game. Now, I'm going up there next week. I know some certain person isn't. But anyway, that's another thing. I don't care if it's scrappy as long as we win that game.
You know, I get that. Let me ask you about, you know, Eze. We did a briefing together. We spoke about Declan Rice. I texted him when he left the West Ham game to Arsenal. That first couple of games, he wasn't himself. Today, we questioned if it would happen to Eze. He's got a good reception. But he also got a winner.
Yeah, and listen, there's more to his game. I thought we done okay again today. You know,
It's still not so.
I say that, I'm not 100%, but what's a finish?
Yeah, great one.
What a finish, you know what I mean? When you're in that little number 10 row, what I look at it, like, is if Odegaard was having performances like that, there'd be a lot of questions. But I do like the captain. He's been he's not been here for a while, so you let him go. You know, he's growing into the team. He's growing into a way that we play. This team, by the way, at Arsenal, is so well coached defensively, right? Yeah, but you've got to. It ain't just like I'll come in and I know what I'm doing here. You've got to learn. You've got to work, and then when you get the ball, there's certain places you have to learn and all that, you know. And listen, he's settling in very well. So, listen, it was a fantastic, unbelievable night. First Premier League goal was against Crystal Palace.
Right. And I think the away fans, I think they're a bit frustrated about the celebration. I don't even get to. I don't think I ever saw the celebration. Apparently, he's been celebrating. Is that?
Please.
But is he right? We said it.
Right. What's the point? Do you know what? If you're an ex-Arsenal player, like Eddie scored today, didn't sit in the I'm not going to get offended if he goes running around or he goes, oh, sorry.
Really?
No, if he went round celebrating, he don't run halfway up the line and then he's celebrating. There's a way to do it, there's a way to not. Right? And at the end of the day,
There was this level.
listen, when Kevin Campbell left Arsenal, we celebrate when he scored it. I might give him a little dig here and there about it. But at the end of the day, I've got more respect for players if they celebrate. Do you know why? Because at the end of the day, he's an Arsenal player now. You know, and then if it's Crystal Palace player, he celebrates. Today, in fact, Eddie, I'll never sing his name out, but that's me. But at the end of the day, you know, so if I scored, I know I'd celebrate. Do you think Ian Wright never celebrated any time when he scored against Crystal Palace? Of course. And is he still respected at Crystal Palace?
Yeah,
of course.
But let me end with quickly. You spoke about, every game is so important. Every game's a big game and whatnot. I think it's the whole fan base across all clubs. It's like, are we to put pressure so early on for every game? Is that right to do? Is it still early in the season, or is it like, is it the want for Arsenal wanting a title? Is it too much? Is it too much? It's only 8 games or 9 games in, and we'll look at every game like must win. Well, that's the standard of what it is right now.
You've got a must win now, have you?
Well, one game. I mean, Burnley. You said Burnley.
Yeah, you want to win a title and all that, but you can afford to lose one game now, still win them. You want to have a look at it like that point of view. Right, but you ain't. You want to keep grinding out points, getting points, keep going and keep going, and drive each other. Us fans have got to drive the team. The players have got to drive each other, and then the manager drives it as well. It's all the thing, isn't it? You've got to keep going and keep going. You don't sit on your laurels. We know what it's like. Some of us fans here don't know what it's like to win a title. It's been that bloody long, right? But there are fans that know what it's like to win a title, and I can tell you that now. You go back to the unbeaten in Super. It wasn't plain sailing, right? It wasn't plain sailing in 2002. It wasn't plain sailing in 1998, right? And I bet it certainly wasn't plain sailing in '89. I can tell you that. And it definitely wasn't plain sailing in '71. It's not easy to win a league. People don't know it's easier than that night. It ain't easy. You've got to continue to get win. As I go back to the Liverpool thing, if everybody was losing last season and they kept losing, they might not have won it. You've got to keep on it on. We've got 2 games now. Listen, Arsenal going to win this league, right? This finishes the point. Arsenal going to win this league, right? You've got to beat teams that have been promoted away from us, Burnley and Sunderland. Now, Sunderland, by the way, the week on, they're top 4 this moment in time. So when you say, Burnley are on luck, you must get the results against those sort of things. You get those results. And let's be honest, the minimum we go into the international break is 6 points in front of them, and Man City, and 7 points in front of them, minimum. And they've got to play each other, so it can even be more. So it's vital that we win these games, and you keep the momentum going, and keep the points going. I'd rather win this league by 20 points than 1 point.
I think we all would. There you go. Thank you, Lee. Love it.
What can I say? Let me just say that, as you can see, I wasn't at the game today. For that, I'm absolutely fuming, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute, right? But on the other hand, I'm absolutely buzzing, and I'm very, very happy with the result that we got today, beating Crystal Palace by a goal to nil. First of all, let me explain to you why I wasn't at the game. I know it's an unusual occurrence, but what happened was I've been in Egypt since last Thursday. Big up to Preston Bank. I was at their event. Everything planned brilliantly. Get back into the UK at midday, and then from Heathrow Airport, go straight to the game, be there for the game, do the fan cams after, as usual. However, a certain Egypt Air, right, weren't playing ball. Even though the flight boarded on time, even though everybody was ready to go on time, the plane sat on the runway for over 2 hours. Right now, I still don't know why it sat there for that time, because they didn't tell us. Everybody on the plane were moaning and saying what's going on. The stewardess didn't seem to, none of the stewardess had an idea as to why the plane wasn't moving or why the plane was stuck there. They came later on with some little half-hearted, there was a couple of issues. What if? Honestly, it was an absolute shambles. And it meant that when I got back to the UK, the game had actually started 5 minutes in, and I was absolutely fuming. You nearly had a jet to Italy. That's how, thank you, Lord, for keeping my composure, because I was, you don't understand. To miss a game like this, as important as this, how horrible it is. But listen, the main thing is, I've got home safely, and we got the win, and it was a really hard-fought win. How I had to watch the game, by the way, is when I got out of the airport, I had to pull over somewhere and watch it on my phone, on Sky Go. So thank God for that. I only missed about, say, 15 minutes of the game. But I did get to see the Eze goal, brilliant goal, and did get to see the first half and the second half before then driving home. So, yeah, it was a very, very hard-fought win. It's not like Palace, were all over us. I thought, actually, you know what, when I'm thinking about it, in the first half, Palace were kind of the better team. We were very sloppy. It's like we had a hangover from the excellent performance against Atletico Madrid. We kept giving the ball away. We were just sloppy. We were lackluster. I mean, it was really surprising when you consider the energy and the way we played against Atletico Madrid. When you compare it to our performance in that first half today, we were so flat. Even the crowd was flat. It just felt really flat. And Palace were on top, even though they didn't really create much. Because I don't think they had a shot on target in that first half. But they were on top. And it was kind of against the run of play that we got the goal, and yet again from another set piece. And listen, as I keep saying to people, it's important set pieces, as you can see today. When you're playing against a dogged, resilient team like Crystal Palace, who are very hard to score against, you're going to have to find another way. Great delivery again, and the ball falls out to Eze, and I've got to say, what an unbelievable finish. I think one of the few people in Arsenal's team on the pitch who could have done that finish, because the ball was bouncing up high, and the way he got over it and just drilled it into the corner, I mean, that was a fantastic goal. His debut goal in the Premier League at the Emirates, and it comes against his old club. How ironic that it's going to be against Crystal Palace. He's still got great reception from all of the Palace fans and everything, but that was a big, big scoring game, and it was going to be settled by one, maybe 2 goals, and that was a huge goal. Arsenal went in at half-time at 1-0, probably didn't deserve to be 1. In the second half, I've got to say, for me, Arsenal stepped it up. We were playing really, really well. Should really have got that second goal. Again, could have been a bit sharper in certain areas, but we were hunting that second goal. We looked likely, but then, with about 15 minutes to go, it looked like we just sort of said, right, let's just settle for this draw. Let's dig in for this draw. Lots of changes made, defensive players thrown on, and we managed to see it out without much. Listen, when it's 1-0, it's always dangerous because a team can score, especially a team like Palace with a guy like Mateta up front. But managed the game brilliantly, and we managed to stay home a massive, massive 3 points and a massive 1-0 win. It wasn't a great game. I've got to say that right now. It wasn't a great game. But right now, when you look at that table, do you care? Because I don't. But it wasn't a great game, and it wasn't a good performance by Arsenal, and they're going to have to play a lot better. Some of the players that were really flat today, I thought Saka was really flat today. I mean, he got taken off. Wasn't great. Declan Rice went off. He was playing really well, by the way, Declan Rice, but he had to come off the pitch. I'm hoping that that's not a bad injury. And also Saliba came off as well. But yet again, the strength and depth showed. I thought Mosquera came on, did really, really well. Nkapia managed to come on and get minutes. He looked decent when he came on. You know, Lewis Skelly. I mean, there's strength and depth in this team. The players who performed well, I thought Trossard up front was probably the better of the forward players today, especially in the second half, maybe not in the first half. Gyökeres worked really hard, but he's got to work on that touch. I mean, we've got to get some better balls into him. I mean, he never seems to get a good ball that he can actually run onto and do something. You know what I mean? He was well marshalled today by the Crystal Palace defenders. I think that LaCroix did really well against him. He actually got past him once, and then even then LaCroix sort of recovered it. So another quiet one for Gyökeres. Got 2 goals in the week. He would have been hoping to do.
Está aí.
He wasn't able to do so. And look,
Video som pijani neki.
Gabriel, brilliant defense. Yeah, again.
A,
Calafiori decent. Timber very, very good as usual, as we say every single game. And the goalkeeper didn't really have a lot to do, but again another clean sheet. And listen, good defences win you leagues. Look at Liverpool yesterday, how poor their defending was. Look at City today, their defending. So, you know, and City at one stage in a game, they apparently had a like 80% possession at one stage of the game in the first half, but it's about getting the result. And right now, Arsenal sit on top of the league, and what a fantastic weekend it's been for Arsenal. You know, first of all, Chelsea dropped points. I was over in Egypt, and I could not believe the Liverpool result. Like, I mean, I knew that they were going to be given a lot of problems by Brentford, but Brentford, you know, and I watched the highlights of the game. He deserved to win that game. Liverpool really in trouble at the moment. So we extended the gap over them to 7 points. 6 points ahead of Man City now. I mean, it's been a fantastic weekend for Arsenal. We've just got to keep getting these wins. When you're not playing well, win the game. Even if you've got to win it ugly, and I think today was one of them sort of ugly wins that Arsenal got done. So listen, even though I missed the game, probably I didn't miss the best game in the world, but I don't care. I mean, I'm absolutely gutted that I missed the game. I missed Eze's first goal. You know what I mean? In the flesh, to be there and see it in the flesh. First goal in the Premier League, but massive goal by Eze, and again, another one of the new signings delivering. I mean, we've seen the problems Liverpool have been having with their new signings. A lot of that one's been hitting the ground running. Look at Mosquera today again. So anyway, it's not a game that we're going to be talking about for a very long time, but the most significant thing is, in a weekend, Liverpool drop points, you know what I mean, when Chelsea drop points, when Man City drop points, Arsenal got the 3 points and are looking good at the top of the table. Still a long way to go, but a significant victory. Sorry I went in the game today. Cecil's been holding the fort. He actually went.
What a weekend. You know when you think it just can't get any better? Weekend on weekend on weekend. Game week on game week on game week. It just keeps getting better. Chelsea lose to Sunderland at the bridge. Liverpool lose to Brentford at Brentford. I was there with 2 eyes, in the flesh, amazing stuff. Then City don't just add the sauce to a beautiful weekend. At times I didn't know whether I was enjoying us being up 1-0 against Palace more than I was seeing Villa and Mr. Unai Emery leading 1-0 against City, knowing that the result this is another weekend where Arsenal move a step closer. Still early days, but it's a step closer. Why? Because we've built a little gap. Why? Because we continue winning games without even playing too well. We shit housed it again. Set piece again. Ole ole again. We just keep on grinding it out. We keep on finding a way. We keep on doing what we need to do, people. I'm going to get into the game and we can talk about the details of it. But the reality of it is, I'm on the wave. We're on the wave. Let's enjoy. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. And the Ops are losing. They're losing. They're losing. Long may that continue. City play Liverpool in a couple of weeks too. Can't forget that. And that's our title rivals. Even though the table might tell you something different. The table might tell you Bournemouth and Sunderland are the title rivals. But listen, it's still very early. Let's not forget, can't write anyone off. City, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Sunderland. Very early. Game week 9. Game week 9. Let's not get carried away. Some might say I got carried away yesterday. Going back to Liverpool. I was going to, watch a game of football. On the community match. Community stadium. Football match. And I saw a beautiful game. The result, was I there for the result? Put it this way, I might have been out there 60, 70 minutes if the scoreline was going another way. So maybe I'm getting a bit carried away, but that's what football's about. So I'm happy to be back here. Back where, if you ask. Back here. Back believing. Back riding wage. Knowing that I might fall off, we might fall off. But also knowing that we might do it. We might actually get over the line. It's about time. Mikel, set pieces, yoga. It always makes sense in come May, we have our 2 hands on that Premier League title. Some might say come March, the way we're moving and the way the Ops are moving. If you can even afford it moving. What a day, what a weekend. Another one, hit the like button, make sure you are subscribed. But with Carlsberg made weekends, Buying sponsored by Carlsberg, not sponsored by Carlsberg. If the QR code is on the screen, make sure you scan it. Click the link in the description if you haven't got a phone to scan it with. There's a link in the pinned comment too. Make use of it. Why? Protect yourself, your data, your privacy, your security. Listen, it's been a great weekend. Imagine you come home from the game, come home from watching it with friends, and you open out your email and you're locked out. Why am I locked out? Because someone hacked you, brother. Someone hacked you, sister. You don't have Proton. Why didn't we have Proton? I've been telling you for nearly a year now. Get Proton. There's 15,000 servers. So wherever you're coming home to, you'll be protected. 115 countries. Yeah, where you are now. So scan it, click it, and see another clean sheet. That was not sponsored by Proton. Arsenal's clean sheet. It's something beautiful. It's something beautiful. Oh, what a platform. Because listen, at times in that game, in the second half, I was looking at it thinking, Palace are surely going to at least have a decent chance on goal. It never came, and everything was in and around the box, all of the pressure that we should have building at times across that 90 minutes. Really. When you consider it was a home game, I think Palace had, some very good patches across the 90 minutes, both in the first half and the second half. It just felt like similar to Fulham, where I mentioned they had moments, and a lot of the comment section were like, well, they didn't have shots. I feel like Crystal Palace had moments where it looked like they were going to get a shot out of it and the very least. And listen, I think Raya faced his first shot on target in however many minutes, couldn't care less. He kept it out. It's another clean sheet. What's that? 10 in 13. 10 clean sheets in 13. What are the records? Put it in the comment section. After you have to do it. I need to know the record. What's the record clean sheet in a single season? We know the goals clean sheet because we heard about it. They try to pull it out and we pull out the gold one, the cheap. I just want to know some of the defensive records. Because we have defensive movement, and that's with Saliba coming up at half time. Saliba coming up at half time. Another game this season where a big player has come up due to injury. And as I speak, I remember Dexter coming up with injury. Saliba and Rice both come in the same game with injury. And none of us are sweating. None of us are nervous. The Ops say always are. They know we've got them. They know we're well equipped. with the injuries, because as much as we're not moaning, as much as we're dealing with it, the injuries, it's been a mad start to the season. I have two key players come off in the same game, and I think that's happened twice this season, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't Saka and Odegaard taken off in the same game? I can't remember, but we've had a lot of injuries, a lot of key players missing a game or two, patches, key players missing months, key players still not here since the start of the season. So seeing Saliba and Rice go down, listen, we're blessed that our midweek game is Carabao Cup competition. Yes, I want to win Carabao Cup. I want to win everything here. But the Carabao Cup is really okay. The Carabao Cup is where I expect to be Ranieri starting, maybe a down and starting. Maybe a Martinelli on top. You know, Gundogan, Mosquera, Newcastle, Hector Kepa on top. That's Carabao Cup. So we've got a week, you know, to get back to sharpness, to get Saliba and Rice going again. The Rice one looks more of a knock. You know, fingers crossed it's not anything more. He was, you know, holding his lower back. He had a lower back issue a few weeks ago, just before international break. So hopefully it's not a knock-on effect. Hopefully it's just, okay, he starts that and then, you know, doesn't do anything to throw something, and there's still a lot to play for in the game, which there was. Rice doesn't really come up unless he has to. So fingers crossed for Declan, fingers crossed for Saliba, fingers crossed for Liverpool, fingers crossed for City, fingers crossed for Chelsea, because if we win this league, unbearable isn't the word, wouldn't be the word, because the haters have really piled on over the years, whether we're finishing 8th out of the picture, or whether we're finishing 2nd on the cusp, just in the picture. The haters have been hating, the hate watchers have been recording, and I'm going to tell you something, I didn't know hate watchers were so good. The dopamine, the hit, ready, the rush, it's quite nice. Listen, football's a beautiful game. It's, you know, my game is a beautiful game. It's a serious game. But if I know these hate watchers were so satisfied, I would have started a lot sooner. But hey, maybe just in time. Just in time for what? Hey, ask me, mate. Maybe by then you'd already know. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. I ain't really got to get into much other detail about the game, because the first half, I mean, yeah, first half, that's about it. That's not really good, the first half. Yeah, the first half was, we didn't have our first shot. Until the 33rd minute, Trossard, near post. We scored in the 38th, as a beautiful finish, set piece again, LA, and all of that. Even though, you know, it was towards Gabriel tussled for it. The guy, I think I should have got that assist. Why? Because my fantasy team was better than he was there with a shot. Someone proved to me that he didn't get the final touch in the ball. Then I say, okay, until then, it's corruption. So Gabriel tossed in, advanced for Eze, and, you know, I think it was Wharton who was trying to, you know, move him out of the way of the ball, and he just flipped his body around, full-blooded strike of the ball into the back of the net. So, but that's what we needed, 1-0. We're lucky because we wasn't creating chances like that in this game. Another game where you could say we wasn't creating chances to multiply that. You know, with 1+2, with extent looking at some of the attacking talent that we have. And I do think that we can't continue playing this way and relying on, you know, the hustle and bustle of our set pieces. You know, eventually it will catch up. But we need to start moving the ball quicker. We need to start putting defenders out of positions. We need to start working into the spaces created by those defenders getting pulled out of position. There's just so much we need to still, you know, finalize in that final third. Still equip ourselves well enough with that final third that I'm confident. I'm confident because we're top, we're 5 points clear. Well, actually, I say 5 points. We're 4 points clear. Bournemouth, 5 points clear. Sunderland, 6 points clear. City, 7 points clear. Yeah, they're 7 points clear. United are 6 points up as well. United are above Liverpool. They're above Chelsea. Right? I'm recording this as the Tottenham game the lead. Matisse, bring the white flag. At times,